Right then, lads and lasses, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing an international roundup, and may I just say, I've never actually experienced us having so many international players, like, ever. This is actually a really good sign. I mean, of course, we're doing everything right that we're possibly could right now, and all these players are performing on the international stage. We're going to get through every single one that's played in the past 3 days. Starting off in chronological order from who's first played to who's last played. Of course, players like Alexander Isak and Tonali, and that is going to be last because they have just played. Starting off, and the sooner we'll get rid of this, the better. Jeff Hendrick, yes. He lost 2-0 to France, and he was actually an unused substitute, yes. West Bromwich Albion's Jason Malumbi and Burnley's Josh Cullen played in a centre-mid position ahead of Jeff Hendrick. If that just doesn't scream at all, then I actually don't know what. This man is just a lost cause at Newcastle United. The sooner we get rid of him, and I know he keeps getting loaned out and nobody wants to pay his wages, but the sooner we get shot of him, the better. I mean, oh my God, how is he even under our wage bill, man? It's shocking. Moving swiftly and most thankfully on, Miguel Almiron against Peru. Of course, he plays for Paraguay. He actually come off with severe cramp, and the manager insists that it's not an injury. I've got exactly what he says down here on a notepad. But he's always shined for Paraguay, isn't he? I mean, he's probably one of the best players ever. Who even goes down as Paraguay's best player? Probably Rocky Santa Cruz or something like that. But I do have what Miggy's manager says here. Charlotto said he's fine, very tired, but cramped. It's his first game, he's had a long trip. He didn't have much recovery time, and the commitment they have forces them to give everything. He doesn't have an injury, and I hope he can recover against Venezuela. It was a 0-0 stalemate game against Peru. Very boring. There's not really much to say about it. I mean, yes, yet again, the detail is further into the video, so stay tuned for that. Now, Dubravka, this is a very interesting one. Slovakia against Portugal. Portugal won 1-0. But with Dubravka, this is not the highlight of the game. You would have seen Ronaldo absolutely went thrashing into Dubravka. And I'm going to say if it's fair or not, right? We're going to talk about it right now. Is it a striker's instinct to go for every single ball? Yes, and it's actually very good that he's, determined to go for the ball. He's not just flaking out, you know what I mean? So he's went in, but he's went in very rashly, and he's went with 2 studs up, and he could have really seriously injured Martin Dubravka. But the striker does have every right to go for that ball. But the way he done it, especially being that experience, Ronaldo, yes, he's going to go for every ball, but you would think he wouldn't exactly put Dubravka's injury at risk. You wouldn't think he'd do that yet again, the experience he has, and why would you go 2 studs up? It was a yellow card. It wasn't actually determined as a red card. Many Newcastle United fans on Twitter have claimed that it should be a red card. In my opinion, it just keeps going back at it. The striker's just obliged to go for that ball, but he has went 2 studs up. He has went in very harshly. Thank God I'm not a referee. I don't have a call on that. Is that a yellow or red? Let me know down below. Now, probably one of the highlights of this video, Bruno Guimaraes. Wow, what a performance that lad put out. I'm going to have to go back and watch every single highlight, but some of the statistics from that game was unbelievable. His pass was unbelievable. It was like a little flick through to Rodrigo. Absolutely fantastic. And many Brazilian social media accounts on Twitter are saying the biggest mistake they had in the World Cup was not playing Bruno Guimaraes regularly, and that it was the best performance he's ever put in a Brazil shirt. And we did see him play in a different position than what he does for Newcastle United. Maybe that's something for Eddie to think about. We have thought about going to a 4-2-3-1. Many Newcastle United fans speculate. I mean, that would be fantastic. Bruno Tonali in a holding DM. Then you've got Joelinton on the left, Gordon on the right, Isak as a false 9, Wilson as a number 9. But the only downside of that is that if Wilson or Isaac gets injured, we don't have a second striker. Going into 4 competitions, we really do need backup. And I'm going to just read you some more stats what Bruno Guimaraes done against Bolivia. I mean, well, yes, it's Bolivia, but still, the 1-5-1. So Bruno Guimaraes, 1 assist, completed 50 out of 50 passes. I did say that was 49 out of 49 many places, but on SofaScore says it's 50 out of 50. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's still fantastic. So 49 out of 49 completed passes. Wow. 4 out of 4 long balls completed. 4 out of 4 ground duels won. Wow, that's just fantastic. We want to see this Bruno back, and by no doubt, I know that he will be back. Moving away from Bruno and moving on to his teammate, Joelinton. Now, there's nowhere near as much to get on with Joelinton. He was a substitute. Of course, he come off the bench for Bruno Guimaraes. He played 19 minutes. He didn't have that much an impact, but he must have had some impact as they went and scored another goal through Neymar Jr. I mean, that's literally all to pick up on Joelinton. He didn't have the best of stats. He lost the ball a few times, but both of them will be back for Newcastle United. And by the way, if I'm doing this the order that the teams have actually played, it would be Trippier and Wilson now, but I'm putting that to the end of the video. Like, I've got so much to say about Gareth Southgate. I do not like this man as a manager. But moving on to Alexander Isak. He got his goal against Estonia, it was. I think they won, like, I don't know what it was, but I know they've won by a bit, 5 or 6-0 maybe. But Alexander Isak, he played 64 minutes, scored a headed goal coming from the left-hand side. It just goes to show, if Alexander Isak gets that delivery, then he's scoring. If he gets the service, he's scoring. We've seen it at Real Sociedad. He needs the service and he's scoring. Just take some notes, lads, right? We need a proper winger who's going to provide that for him. Yes, Gordon loves to run down that left-hand side and cross it in and he can get on the end of it. But we don't see nothing from Miggy. This is the thing that puts him, I wouldn't like to say a scapegoat, but it's why everyone pounces on him. He's so one-footed. When you're on the right-hand side and you've got that pace like Miggy does, he can't use his right foot to cross it in. He has to turn and then everyone comes back and he's got to pass it back. He can't get it in the box. And he hasn't got that great of a cross on him either. He can't seem to get the ball off the ground for some reason. It's a complete palaver. But Alexander Isak scored, and I've got some other stats for you as well. He also played as a second striker behind Victor Gyökeres, who is now playing for Sporting Lisbon. Yes, he played for Coventry. I think it was like 20 million euro or something, which is a very, very good bargain. Born from Brighton and Hove Albion. Sorry if I just said Coventry there. But yes, he played as a false nine behind Victor Gyökeres. Yet again, something we may see in Eddie Howe's system. Moving on to the Swiss masterpiece, Fabian Schär. Also got some very good stats on him as well. It was a 2-2 draw with Kosovo. Yes, Switzerland drew with Kosovo. I know that's not the biggest upset of the night. Of course, England drew 1-1 with Ukraine. We're going to get on that later. Wow. But anyways, Fabian Schär, some very good stats for you, man. And he was also rated the second best player on SofaScore. The goal scorer, I think it was Fröler, had scored 2 goals and hence why he is rated higher. So, Fabian Schär, 7 clearances, 2 blocked shots, 3 interceptions, and 78 out of 88 correct passes, whilst also doing 10 out of 11 long balls completed. And of course, he played the full 90. I think we did pick up Fabian Schär when he impressed, was it the 2016 Euros, I think it was. Of course, we're going for a bargain from Deportivo. Wow, that's fantastic. But that's all it is for Schär. Moving on to my favourite player, Sandro Tonali. Although being fantastic for Newcastle United and being my favourite player, I love this man so much. He can literally defend, attack, take it on that right-hand side, create attacking output. He'll win the ball back, he'll harass you, he'll chase you down. I don't know what's not to love about this man. If he gets took off for someone else in our midfield next game, I am going to throw hands. No, I'm joking. But as for the actual international match for Sandro Tonali, it was a 1-1 draw against North Macedonia. Surely that is their bogey team. I swear Pandev knocked them out, or someone knocked them out last time they played. North Macedonia, man. What? But yes, 1-1 draw. It wasn't the most eventful night for Sandro Tonali. Although the Prem performances have been fantastic, the Italian ones haven't really. I've seen some Italian fans say he doesn't actually play the best for Italy. But nevertheless, it was a pretty boring game. He also got booked. I mean, 1-1 against North Macedonia. You're not really playing the best, are you? You should be putting 4 or 5 past them. Italy has a fantastic national team, of course. We know about that in the Euros. We don't want to talk about that. But Italy won. North Macedonia won. Not the best game for Sandro Tonali. Rated 6.5 on SofaScore. Not the best. But now it's time to talk. Kieran Trippier and Callum Wilson. Unused substitutes, but that's not what worries me the most, right? Should Kieran Trippier be playing in the England squad? It's up to Gareth Southgate, which unfortunately leads me to believe that this man should not be in charge of England. Yes, he's probably going to walk out, he says, after the next Euros, but just get him out now, man. It's not even about this 1-1 Ukraine draw. Fair enough, it's a qualifier. We're going through anyways. Nevertheless, Italy being in our group, we've already beat them. We are going through this 100%, no matter if I was the manager, no matter if the postman down the road was your manager. Do you know what I mean? But I've been saying, ever since that 2018 semi-final, ever since the Italy 2020 final, you can see he got there all we want, but who else wouldn't really get what, like, we should be beating Croatia in the semi-final. He would just seem to bottle everything. Will necessarily changing a manager change that? Hopefully, because I don't believe this man is even fit for the job. Like, I've been saying this for a long time, and hopefully you have as well. I don't know why this man is actually the manager. Yet again, I'm going to go back. Oh, he's got to a semi-final. He's got to a final. Okay, did we win them? Like, did we actually win them? Yes, Italy were on fire in that tournament, but we should be beating Italy as well. Like, they got knocked out. They weren't even in the last World Cup, man. And they weren't even in this World Cup. I don't believe that this man is the manager whatsoever. And I don't know how he actually got to be the candidate for the England manager. What even experience did he have? Was it like Middlesbrough or something? Like, what? I don't know how he was even appointed in the first place. But I'm going to say this, right, and don't take my head off. I don't know, if Eddie Howe ever left Newcastle United, which by all means I hope he does not, I love him so much. If he ever left Newcastle United, he would be the perfect man for England. That's all I will say. He's the perfect man for England, right? He'll take all his backroom stuff, he'll get all the behind the scenes stuff sorted out. His man management is fantastic, right? Yes, he's been a bit poor after his substitutions. That's the only downfall, or even if you could call it a downfall, the only downside he's had in his time at Newcastle United, and it's so minimal as well, so you can't even really call it a downside. But his man management is fantastic. His tactics last season, they were fantastic. Hopefully they prove to be fantastic this season as well. He would just be fantastic for England, and I think many other opposition fans are probably calling for Eddie Howe to be England's manager, and apparently Pep Guardiola is going to get lured away from Man City. I mean, wow. Jesus Christ. I mean, I've got more of a chance of going to Newcastle United and being the star striker and getting signed for 90 million. Do you know what I mean? And why on earth would Pep Guardiola leave Manchester City whilst maybe able to win a quadruple? But no, he wants to go manage England, where Jordan Henderson and Harry Maguire play a full 90 minutes. But that is the end of the video. Do you agree with Gareth Southgate being our manager? Not for me, just not for me. But you let me know down below. If you did enjoy this video and you do enjoy our players playing international matches, like this video and subscribe. Daily content still coming up for the YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day. Goodbye.